Hi, I'm Bosco. Okay, so today we're going to talk about The Collector. Okay, so what you need to know, when I went into this film, I knew nothing. I didn't know who directed it. I didn't know who was in it. I didn't know what it was about. I was just flicking through Shudder last night, and it was there, and I was like, I like that cover art. So I watched The Collector, and I had to talk about it. Okay? So I later learned that the director for The Collector was the director for the later Saw films. And when you learn that, you realise where some of this imagery comes from and the imagination that went behind it. Okay, so this isn't going to be spoilers, this is going to be a review and it is my opinion. Okay, so let's talk about The Collector. So let's talk about the beginning, okay? You start off with this couple, and a middle-aged couple, and they live in suburbia, and they go into their house. Wife goes up the stairs. She calls up the husband comes up and he's worried. There's a red chest box about this big, and he starts opening the box, and when it opens, boom, the film starts, and the film starts with some great music. Reminded me, and it made me want to listen to KMFDM, and the music in the film was great. I really enjoyed the music. There were some tracks, there was some atmospheric music. I really enjoyed the music in the film. But you open the box, you're there, it starts off, the main titles come on, and you're there going, what's in the box? What's in the box? And you don't find out what's in the box till much later, and you don't really find out what's in this box. But I'm not going to spoil the film. Okay, so then you meet a character, and his name is Arkan. He is fitting a security system for this family, and he kind of befriends the family, but you don't know much about the family, you don't know much about him. He starts talking to the little girl in the house, who I would say was probably about 6 or 7, and I have a stepdaughter. She's 6, so you sort of see where he's coming from in this, and he says, I've got a daughter her age, so he finds it easy to befriend this girl, and not in a creepy weird way. I need to point that out. And you find out he wasn't lying. He actually has this little girl, and he buys her this teddy, and I'm guessing was the girl's mum or his girlfriend. She's got money trouble, and he's trying to help, so he's working his arse off to try and help. It's not enough money, so he's fitted a security system for this wealthy family, and he knows it, so he decides he's going to steal it. You then find out that he did time in jail for robbery, and he's an ace safe cracker, and he's going to rob this family. When he goes into the house to rob them, they left that a bit. They've gone on vacation. You later find out they haven't left the house, and there's someone else in the house who we're going to call the Collector. He is creepy as fuck. Seriously creepy. He made me feel gross. And it's weird because it's just this mask, and he's got these eyes, and they reflect like a cat. And he just creeped me the hell out. And you don't ever see his face. You don't really know who he is, and you don't know why he's doing what he's doing, but he's taken this family hostage, and he's doing awful, awful things to this family, and it's violent things, and I'm going to just flat out add this in because it is important, especially when my wife watches a horror film. Sometimes, bit of background, I have to vet a film because she doesn't like, she won't refuses flat back blank to watch sexual violence, and I don't blame her, to be completely honest. And it's not that sort of violence. I just need to, that's a disclaimer, get out of the way. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Okay, and it's just awful. And this is where, when I say who directed from the later Saw films come in, you see the imagination. This collector's booby trapped this house, and I don't want to spoil the booby traps at all, but it's like Home Alone on a completely... Home Alone, the collector, it's mental, and some of them are clever, some of them are just harsh. One of them involves this cat, and oh my god, this scene with this cat. I'm not gonna tell you exactly what happens, but it's just like this poor cat. But yeah, so it's essentially then this game of the collector, and he doesn't know Arkan is in this house. And he's then decided, rather than rob the family, he's going to save them. He needs to save them because he, like I say, to a degree, befriended them, and he spends a lot of time looking for the girl that he befriended in not a weird way. And at one point, he actually gets out the house, and he changes his mind for a reason. He changes his mind and goes back in and puts himself in awful danger to try and save this family. And there's a point where you can see that he's desperate just to save at least one person. He needs to save at least one, and whether he's trying to redeem himself or whatever, he's driven, and the things he goes through, he does it out of pure drive, and you're there watching it going, he's putting up with a lot, and it is a lot. Body torture and fish hooks and all sorts of just stuff, and it's just the guy who's going to rob this family, and you don't like him. There's something wrong with him from the beginning. You know in your head that there's something wrong with him. By the end of it, you're rooting for him. And this is one of the only killer films that I can think of where I'm not rooting for the killer. He is cool design, and I can see costumes coming of it and everything. But I'm rooting for Arkan, and I'm there, and I'm there. I'm cheering him on, and I just want him to win. And that doesn't happen a lot in these sort of films where you're rooting. You actually sit there rooting. You're there. I want to see the gruesome deaths. I want to see how imaginative that is. But you're there going, no, and you're there and you're screaming, no, don't go in there. And what you realise at the end of the film is most of this film took place, not the first bit, but from the robbery to the end of the film is little over an hour. It's literally little over an hour, the time scale. So you start thinking, well, this film is almost in real time. And you think all these awful things that have happened in almost real time. So the directing was great, and let's talk about that. There's some amazing camera tricks going over rooms with doors, and there's a lot of handheld cameras. If you don't like the handheld cameras, and it maybe make you feel motion sick or something, there is a lot of that. But it's not awful. You can still tell what's going on. You can still... There's no... what do I call it? Confusion or anything like that. It's enjoyable, and you start going there, and there's just great camera tricks, and I liked that. I love things like that. There's this bit where it's just over a section above a wall between the doors, and you see like the cat and mouse thing, and you're there. It's tense, and it builds great tension. And that's the great thing, is this film is tense. It's gory. It's satisfying. And at the end, I was like, what's going on? What's going on? I found out there's a sequel, The Collection. So I'll be watching that. That's on Amazon Prime, so I'm going to be watching that, and I will review that, and hopefully we'll find out a little bit more about this, the collector, the killer, and why he's doing this, and why he targeted this family in particular. So, what I'm going to say is, watch this film. If you like the Saw films, Okay, it's not got the traps, but it's got the cleverness. It's got the booby traps, and the worst bit about it is when you finish watching the film, you walk around your own house, and it was 1 o'clock in the morning when I finished watching it, so the lights were off, it was dark, and I was like, and it's been a long time since a film has made me worry about being in my own home. So, it's just watch it. If you like that, watch it. It's great. You get a massive thumbs up from me. Anyway, I hope you have a great day, evening or morning, whatever time it is. Have a great one. Bye bye.